Hey everyone, what's going on? It's 2D Toys and we're back with another video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the sub button and don't forget the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. We got a bunch of great videos coming your way, like this one. And for today's review, we're doing something a little bit different, and we're going to be checking out the DNA Designs DK-37 upgrade kit for Legacy Evolution Toxitron. And of course, like we always do, we're going to start off by taking a quick look at the packaging. We'll slide it in just a little closer here. Got a nice picture here. This is Laser Optimus Prime, but all these kits are the same because it's the same mold. You got the DNA logo up there, DK-37 for Toxitron, and there it says Legacy Laser Optimus Prime upgrade kit, but this is the Toxitron one. DK-37 there, DNA logo, another picture of Prime. Barcode words on the bottom, same on this side. Another DK-37 on the top. And DK-37 upgrade kit, and here you get a little picture of what it comes with. Of course, ours will be in a little bit of different colors to match this guy a little better. But here you can see all the pieces that it's going to come with. A couple extra blasters, some missile pieces, some gap fillers, and some other odds and ends stuff. Articulated hands too, that'll be nice. That's about it for packaging. Ain't much to look at, and we're not going to waste any more time. So let's get this thing open. He's excited. I'm excited. Let's check it out. And real quick here, I just wanted to show off what it looks like in the blister when you slide it out of the packaging. So of course you got your missile pieces here, a few armature pieces, some gap fillers, the articulated hands, and the blasters. I just want to give a quick look here. Show you guys what it looks like when you slide it out of the box. Set that down there. You stay there. And then we got a set of upgrade instructions here. Showing all your pieces. Pretty simple sheet of instructions. Showing where everything goes and what you can do with it. So with the way these are laid out, kind of work from top to bottom on each one. Looks like we're starting with the hands, so that's what we'll do. And starting off with the hands here, I went ahead and replaced one so we can take a look at these side by side. So you can just kind of see the details here and how they compare to each other. Your upgraded ones on the left and the original here on the right. So detailed, very similar. And then of course these new hands are articulated. You got a pin here at the base knuckle. And your trigger fingers individually articulated. And the other three are just stuck together. And we'll grab our figure and slide him in. It's pretty self-explanatory to replace these. Pop this open. You see that there's just on a ball joint. Pop the old one out. We'll take our new one. And we'll just snap it in like so. And close this back up. And then we have a new set of hands. And moving on to the gap fillers. You get two for each side to go on the back of the legs. You got this panel here. Check out some of the details on that. Nice gray. And then you get a smaller piece here with a little bit of molded detail there as well. And I went ahead and threw on one side here so we can take a look. Obviously here we have our gap fillers installed and this side without. So it does a pretty good job filling in some of the hollow spaces here on the back of the leg. And to start off, we'll take the bigger panel here. You got a peg there. It'll go in the top hole. It'll just plug in fairly easy. And you'll take this piece. You want the pointy side going down. And you get a couple notches there in it. That'll just fit on these slots here. And Then you have the legs all done. And moving on to the blasters. We'll take a look at some of the molded details here. All done in solid black. A decent amount of details molded in here. Same on both sides. And of course you get two of them. Molded exactly the same. Not blast effect compatible, which I'm surprised. But we bring our figure back in. We'll just plug into the fists, as guns should. And there you have that going. And then we can also take one of these armature pieces here, segmented in two places. Pin this piece there, that piece that way. And then you can take your axe, well, axe sword. Plug the shoulder in into the hole here. And we'll spin our guy around, and the other end will plug into his back. So you can still have some storage there. So if you want to use the blasters, he can still carry his sword on his back. And for this next section, which they're calling Mode A, we got to do a little prep work here on the trailer. So we'll start off, we'll flip this part up, open the trailer up, and remove this whole middle section here. And we'll set this off to the side. We'll come in here, you'll fold this up. And that part will double hinge. And you'll want to fold this down and remove the gun off the top of it. So then you got something looking like this. And from here, now that we got our figure back in, and we got our trailer piece, got a peg here, and a peg into his back, just like that. And then you can take your blasters. There's a peg hole in the bottom for this peg, and the handles will just kind of sit down in this empty cavity. Like so. And you can have one on the top, one on the bottom, or you can do both. We'll try to get both in there. Just squeeze those in like so. It's a little heavy on the side. And then you'll take one of your missile pieces here, which will just peg on the front. And then you can take your armature pieces, the same one we use for the backpack with the sword and axe. And you can put the long handle into his fist here, if I can get it in there. And for the other end, there's really nowhere to peg it into. I think you're more just trying to fake it here. See if we can do something a little bit different. But the other end just kind of sits. And then you can pose it like so. And now we'll get into what they call Mode B. So you'll take your same trailer section here. We'll remove these guns off here and leave everything the same. Except this time, we'll spin him around here. Same peg, same hole, but it's going to go over the top of the head and look a little something like this. And we'll move this guy out of the way while we work on the rest of the trailer. And for this next section, we'll bring in the rest of our trailer that we haven't used yet. And we'll open this up and we'll just disconnect the sides here. They're just on friction joints. And we'll move this piece off to the side. And then you're kind of left with this. We'll work through them one at a time. I'll probably show you one and then show it all together. And with one half of our trailer here, we'll take one of these missile sections and make sure you pay particular attention. The instructions say that this gap should be going up. So you want to make sure you got the right one. You got a peg on the back. They'll go in the first slot here. It'll kind of look like that. And you want this gap here at the top of it. You'll take one of these funky looking armatures, and it'll just snap here where the original trailer was connected, or I'm sorry, the middle piece of the trailer was connected. And we'll just see if we can get this snapped in. It's a tight fit on there. And then there you have something looking like that. And now that we got our pieces all together and we got our figure back in here, I'm going to do this a little out of order just for simplicity. We'll take this section here that we added earlier. We'll fold this out. And then fold this inside piece up. And then close it back down on itself. And it just kind of sits there. So then you got this look going on the front. And you'll want to take one of your blasters. You got a little peg here on the bottom. And a slot there on the bottom of the gun. And that'll just peg in like so. So then we kind of got this look going. And there you go. We'll spin our figure around here. Get this armature on the back. You got a tab here. It'll go in this slot. And then from what I can tell, this piece just slides over the smokestacks. The instructions almost make it kind of look like it should snap on, but this part doesn't articulate the right way. So we're just going to do it the best way we can. We'll slot that in, and this piece will just sit over the smokestack. And bring this in. Then you can grab one of our handle pieces. Put his arm up here. See if we can get the handle in here without knocking everything off of there. Slide the handle piece in his hand. And this time for the short peg, you have your option of any of these slots here that you want to play, that you want to kind of peg it into. We'll go for this middle one if we can get it. Sorry if you guys can't really see this. It's a little fiddly, and then trying to do it on camera is a little challenging, but you can get it pegged in there, then it'll hold the handle, and then you kind of get that look going on. I'll get the other one put on off camera so we can see the whole thing all together. And here we have a shot of Mode B all put together with all the pieces that you need. And I gotta say, out of all of them, I think this one was probably my favorite, although it makes the figure extremely back heavy. It does come across very cool looking. And moving on to Mode C, which is really just the base mode. You'll start off by getting your trailer back in its normal configuration here. Spin it around. You got all the ports here, all down the side. We'll take our missile pods, which is this piece here, in the same box style configuration. Plug it into the one here farthest on the outside. Then you'll take these missile pieces, and they'll plug into the port right next to it. You'll take your armature here. This little plug style will go on this piece right here. I'll just slide over it. Kind of looks like that. And then you'll take your blaster, and it'll plug into the hole there closest to the center. There's kind of a look at where everything goes. And real quick, we'll just plug everything on the other side. So we can get a good shot here of what everything looks like. So then you have your base mode like this, with everything plugged in. Spin this back around. This section, we'll fold this section out, and just kind of fold this down. We'll pop the gun up, spin it around. Then you'll take your last two pieces here. And we'll just plug them in here like so. So you spin these around. Put the short side in here, and the long side will be your handle. And you'll just sit your figure here, and you'll hold the handles, and there you have mode C, which is your base mode. And here's just a shot of Toxitron in base mode with all the accessories attached. And you'll see he'll just hold the handles here just fine. It can be a little tricky kind of getting him sorted. But there you have that. And you know, base modes are what they are, but it's not terrible. And finally, we'll get into the vehicle mode, which for the trailer is mostly just storage for everything, but we'll run through it real quick so you can see where everything goes. We'll start with our missile pods here, flattened out in the configuration that they come in out of the packaging. Of course, we've got a trailer here back in its normal setup. These will just plug into the last hole here on the edge. And we'll go ahead and do that on both sides. You want to take your handle pieces and fold the long handle down like this, and it'll go into the next hole here next to it. So just plug that in, and I'll just kind of sit over top of it here. We'll take our armature pieces here, and we'll plug them into the same section there, like so. That's how that looks. We'll go ahead and get them set up on both sides. Plug that piece in so it sits over. Take this one. I can get it in the right spot. And then here you have everything just kind of sitting like this. Take his original accessory, move the sword from the axe, fold this part up here, and then the axe will just plug in this section here on these two pegs. Then you have everything kind of sitting like here. And we'll fold all this up like we normally would. Everything will snap together. Bring this section down. Oh, made an error here. Everything folded up like it's supposed to be. And then there, hey, you have your trailer with everything stored inside. You'll take these missile pieces, they'll plug onto the back on both sides, and then you can take your blasters and they'll just plug in onto each side here on this port with the handle. And of course, you can have these facing forward or facing towards the rear, any configuration you want. And then for the last piece, we'll just bring Toxitron back in his truck mode. And I will say, transformation on this guy is exactly the same. The only thing that's really different is the hands, and they'll fold up just the same way as they originally did. So no issue there. We'll take the sword piece here. And you got your two slots there, and the two pegs on the sword. And it'll just fit in there and peg in like so. And of course, you'll take your truck and your trailer and just connect it the same way as normal. There you have the vehicle mode. Everything's stored Looks really good. And final thoughts wise, we'll keep it real short. I think the hands, the gap fillers, and the extra blasters you get are already worth the price of admission, and everything else is kind of a bonus. I think everything incorporates well, fairly well. Some of the trailer modes can make the figure a little bit heavy and kind of hard to stand and pose, but they look cool. And of course the base mode's kind of throwaway, but the other modes are fairly decent. And I think for the most part, everything works as it's intended. But just for the extra accessories alone, I don't think you can go wrong. And if you enjoy some of the other stuff, it's kind of just a bonus. As far as I can tell, all these upgrades are the same no matter which version of this mold you get. So pick and choose which one you want, or get all three of them. And that's really all there is to say on this guy. This has been my review of the DNA Designs DK-37 upgrade kit. As I've said before, we're going to be giving away a free copy of this upgrade kit for Toxitron. And all you need to do is like this video and then hop down in the comments and let me know what your favorite DNA Design release has been so far. I'm thinking we'll let this run about 2 weeks till about 4/15. And then we'll do a random comment picker and choose our winner there. And we'll announce the winner either by a post or maybe another little short video. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And if you don't win, don't worry. We're definitely going to be doing more contests like these in the future. But just in case, I'll also drop a link down below. We can still pick this guy up at. I'll also leave the links down below for Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow us there. And as always, I just want to thank everyone for coming, hanging out, and listening to me ramble on about some of these figures. But I think that's going to about do it. Until next time, for the love of toys, we'll see ya.